Hey y'all. All right, so today on Threefold, we're going to be jumping into segment five. And segment five is called Deviating from the Path. Section one of segment five is entitled Hugo and the Officers. All right, so this won't be as long as yesterday. It's kind of short, so we'll get it done. Talk to you soon. Or go ahead and get ready to listen. This is part one. Hugo heard something in the wind. At least, that's what he thought when he woke up. Junior was asleep. Guinness appeared to still be out. If he had heard something, Junior would have been the first to react to it. He sat up. He was sure he heard his name. He stood up. That something in the wind became his name. He heard it clearly. He wasn't hearing it on the wind, though. No, he heard it in the trees. They swayed, even though there was no wind. He had seen this before. He had seen the trees move this way in response to Guinness. This couldn't be Guinness. Guinness wouldn't call for help or call for him, even if he was on his deathbed. It dawned on him. Mateo was trying to get his attention. Hugo brought a small flame into his right hand. He used it to light his way as he followed the swaying trees and the voice that continued to call his name. He hadn't walked long before he found himself in a clearing across from a young woman. She stood holding a baby in the crook of her arm. Not Mateo. Her wavy, dark brown hair extended around her shoulders. From what he could see in the dim light he wielded, this woman was thick, muscled. He raised his flame. He recognized the friendly expression on her face. She shared it with her two brothers, one more than the other. He knew who this was. "You're Teresa," Hugo said. "Yes, sir," Teresa said. She took a few steps forward toward him, toward the light. "I wanted to speak with you. I thought it might have something I thought I might have something to say that could help you." "Your appearance has already helped tremendously," Hugo said. "Guinness thinks you're in danger. He thinks my brother might kill you." "I'm in danger," Teresa said nonchalantly. "But don't take it the way it sounds." Hugo couldn't help find her words puzzling. Is there another way to take it, he thought. "You're not alleviating my fears." "I know," Teresa said. She smiled. Hugo pondered whether she meant for it to disarm him or reassure him. "I want to tell you everything," Teresa said, "but wheels have been set in motion." "Are things bad?" Hugo asked. "Am I wrong about Jackson?" "Jackson is a good man," Teresa said. "I know he seems so different from when you knew him, but that has never changed." "Does that mean you've been with him, too, for the past 5 years?" He wanted to ask her this question, but he had too many others that were more important. "You've provided a step in the right direction," Hugo said. "Thanks. What is your role in this? Can you answer any of my questions, or are you going to be as cryptic as Mateo and the others?" There was the fact that she might not even answer any of them. "Jackson didn't kill Laco. Teresa wasn't in danger because of Jackson, but she was in danger. She was in someone's sights, not just her. Jackson was trying to protect him from this someone, maybe her too." "Being in the dark can be frustrating," Teresa said. She chuckled softly as she lifted her left hand and opened her palm. The darkness around them was pulled into her palm, and when she closed it, the clearing became bright as day. Teresa was a chloro and umbra energist. Like Mateo, she too was a skilled energist. No wonder Guinness always talks about being strong. Hugo could only imagine how it would have felt living in a house with two siblings who were skilled energists. Powerful and skillful were two different things. Had Guinness learned that yet? Hugo saw Teresa clearly now, but not her baby, who was wrapped up tightly. She wore a serious expression on her face now. I'm outside of this, Teresa answered his first question, so I don't allow myself much say. But you, if you just be yourself, Hugo, we believe you can bring everyone a positive outcome. No pressure, Hugo said. We, you mean Mateo, paved the way? You are smart, Teresa said, smiling again. Akira and I have talked about it as well. We believe you all should know the truth. Now, before this goes any further. However, as I said earlier, I'm outside of this. She finds herself conflicted. Maybe you'll figure it out before you reach the end of this journey. Hugo would have liked to get to know Teresa more, talk to her more. He would have liked to hear her opinion on the situation between her brothers and their dad. He wondered how she came from the same family as Guinness. She could probably explain how or why Guinness was so different from her and Mateo. He would have liked to do a lot, but he knew she'd leave soon. He wouldn't be talking to her about any of that. As he came to that realization, the baby started to cry. Shh, Teresa said. It's okay. She rocked the baby. As fast as the baby started was how fast the baby stopped. My son, Jericho. Hugo nodded. She was good with him. He smiled, thinking about that name. That's funny. What? Teresa asked. She smiled as if she already knew what he was going to say. My grandfather's name was Jericho. She chuckled. Imagine that. She glanced up a moment. Mateo, I'm ready. She returned her attention to him. Hugo, I'll see you soon. Hugo watched Teresa become a figure of light and disappear, returning the darkness around him. He smiled, laughed to himself. Jackson, do you have a son? Am I an uncle? He turned away from the clearing to go back to camp and go back to sleep. I'm an uncle. All right, guys, so I told you part one was short. So thanks for listening. And come back again tomorrow for part two. Adios.